Hi guys, and welcome to a brand new show, which is going to be monthly. This is going to be our top 5 picks from the previews book. So keeping you up to date with the hottest releases coming out, making sure you get those pre-orders in to guarantee your first print, cover A's, always at cover price, always bagged and boarded, always taken care of. But yeah, no, we do have previews podcast every month. You can catch that in the podcast network. Just search Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your pods. Just search Coffee and Heroes podcast. And Keith and I'll go into a much deeper dive with the previews books. It can last anywhere between an hour to 2 hours. But this month was particularly big. Loads of great titles. So it's definitely worth checking that out. But if you just want to know what our picks are for sort of that creme de la creme, if you will, I'm going to pick those books out for you now. So these are my top 5 not to miss from the March previews book. These are due out for release from May onwards. And I'm going to kick things off with the Marvel book. And without a doubt, one of the big titles this month is a big relaunch for Avengers. So this is going to be Avengers number 1. They've put a fantastic team onto this, which is Jed MacKay writing and CF Villa on art. I've got a cracking looking lineup for the Avengers. You got Captain America, you got Vision, you got Black Panther, Scarlet Witch, Captain Marvel, Thor, and Iron Man. And this one is described as assemble the star, the icon, the witch, the construct, the god, the engineer, and the king. The world is ever in peril, and a new team of Avengers mobilizes to meet any dangers that dare threaten the planet. But when Terminus attacks, a new and insidious danger rears its head, one that Avengers know all too well, and one that comes to them in the most dangerous of guises, that of a friend. So you'll see here with the previews books, which we always have in store, you know, the preview artwork there looks absolutely gorgeous, bright and colourful, bombastic and epic. I'm really looking forward to this. I've always been looking for an Avengers run to jump into. I do struggle with it sometimes. I thought that the last run by Jason Aaron I would get into, but it just didn't quite grab me. But I think this looks pretty fantastic. So Avengers number 1, first pick from this month. I promise it's not going to be like this every month where I just pick DC. But the DC book is so strong this month that I have to pick 3 titles out of my 5. But before I get to that, I'll jump into indie. And there is one indie title specifically that massively caught my eye. This is a title called Something Epic. So this is from Image Comics. It is both written and drawn by Szymon Kudranski, who's an artist that you might know from Punisher, from Spawn. And it looks like it's going to be an ongoing. There's a great range of variant covers as well, referencing the likes of Terminator, Amazing Fantasy 15, Mario Brothers, for example. It's described as a larger-than-life fantasy epic for fans of 8 Billion Genies and Echolands. Imagination is real. Outside our perception, creative thought takes physical form, with only a handful of individuals known as epics able to interact with this wondrous hidden world. But for 14-year-old Danny Dillon, accepting these responsibilities himself won't be easy or safe. Lose yourself in a world of endless fantasy and creativity where superheroes, monsters, magical creatures, and cartoon characters live and breathe alongside us. Fan favourite Spawn and Punisher artist Szymon Kudranski introduces a world where the only limitation is your imagination. Same again, the preview art in this looks pretty fantastic, and I'm really looking forward to that. That's definitely my top indie pick for this month. But as I say, this is it. Let's catch that. As I say, this is a month dominated for me by DC because there are 3 titles specifically that massively have my attention. And I didn't think the first of them would be Shazam. Shazam's not really a character I have a massive history with or have read loads of epic runs or anything like that. But the reason this is on the list this month is because it's from the team of Mark Waid and Dan Mora. So that is the team behind Batman, Superman, World's Finest. So they're perfect for this kind of thing. So by the look of it, it's going to be an ongoing. So it's part of the Dawn of DC initiative. So Shazam number 1. The world's finest creators present the world's mightiest mortal in a dazzling solo series. Dinosaurs from space, the clubhouse of eternity, homicidal worms and talking tigers, atomic robots, alien worlds, mad scientists, sinister curses, and villains from throughout the DC universe. Welcome to the wild adventures of Billy Batson, whose big red alter ego defends the Earth from its weirdest and wildest threats. Want to stop Lex Luthor and the Joker? Call Superman and Batman. International crisis? Page Wonder Woman. But when Gargax, Emperor of the Moon, sets his sights on Gorilla City, that's when you shout Shazam. This fan-favourite team of Mark Waid and Dan Mora bring the magic. So again, Dan Mora, one of the single best artists working on comics today, and it's just so good to have Mark Waid back at DC Comics. My second pick from the DC book is a little further in. It is a Black Label title, so very much adults only, which, if you're going to do this character, it has to be adults only, let's be honest. And that is because there is a new Series 4, the one, the only, Peacemaker. So Peacemaker, one of the best things DC have done in live action in the last 5-10 years. Really fun series, really adult, tonally very similar to something like The Boys, but good sense of humor. John Cena's great in the role as well. But there's going to be a new 6-issue mini-series for Peacemaker Tries Hard. This comes from Kyle Starks, really good writer, did the like of Rock Candy Mountain, I Hate This Place, 6 Sidekicks of Trigger Keaton. And you've got the artist on this of Steve Pugh, who worked on things like Preacher, Harley Quinn, Animal Man. So Peacemaker Tries Hard, number 1. Having earned his release from the Suicide Squad, Peacemaker wants to try and do normal superhero stuff for a change. Unfortunately, everyone, including the bad guys, thinks he sucks at superhero stuff. But when busting up a terrorist ring introduces Christopher Smith to the cutest thing to ever walk awkwardly on 4 legs, he finds the unconditional love he's been denied his whole life. That is until the dog is kidnapped right out from under him by a supervillain who has some very unsuperheroic plans for Peacemaker's brand of ultra-violence. Will he help an infamously unstable, superpowered criminal steal the world's most valuable and dangerous DNA? Honestly, Christopher's pretty lonely, so it probably just depends on how nicely they ask. Breakout writer Kyle Starks and art legend Steve Pugh to deliver a brutal and hilarious take on DC's biggest POS that will bust guts, break bones, and melt hearts. Yeah, it looks awesome. Again, adults only for that one. But undoubtedly, title of the month for me, if you can only get one title on your pull list this month, this has to be it, surely. And that is Titans number 1. It even has the cover. Titans number 1 is coming from Tom Taylor. It's sort of spinning out of the pages of Nightwing, as well as spinning out of the pages of Dark Crisis. And you've got Nicola Scott on art, which is just as important. Absolutely gorgeous artist. Love her work. But yeah, so a brand new number 1. This is essentially taking the form of the team book for DC. In the way Avengers is getting a relaunch with Marvel this month, there's no Justice League title at the moment, so this is your team book. So Titans number 1, written by Tom Taylor, art by Nicola Scott. The Dark Crisis is over, and Justice League is no more. Now, a new team must rise and protect the Earth. Titans, go. The Teen Titans are ready to grow up. Each member joined as a much younger hero, certain that one day they'd be invited to join the Justice League. But the time has come for them not to join the League, but to replace it. Are the no longer teen heroes ready for the big leagues? Danger looks are in every corner as heroes and villains alike challenge the new team before they've ever begun. Will the DCU ever be the same? Find out in this landmark first issue brought to you by the all-star creative team of Tom Taylor and Nicola Scott. As I say, if there's only one title you can stick in your pull list this month, that is it, because Nightwing has been nothing short of phenomenal. You're now getting the team element introduced. You're getting Dick as a leader. It'll no doubt have signature humor through it. Yeah, cannot wait for that. So easily my pick from the March previews book is Titans number 1. But as I say, that's just 5 books. I just want to keep it short and sweet on YouTube. Check out the podcast for more detail on the previews books, or just call into the store. They're always up at the counter. Take a seat, have a flick through, and see what appeals to you and what you want to add to pull lists. So as I say, the earlier the better. We know if there's things you'd like added. And again, it guarantees first prints, cover A's, always bagged and boarded, and most importantly, speculators be damned, always a cover price. Anyway, I hope this proved useful, guys. I'll look forward to doing this once a month and keeping you up to date. And I'll look forward to seeing you hopefully in store soon as well. So take it easy.